to help, answer any questions and even hopefully join in the discussions. At the end, we're going to give you about, we're a bit short on time now, because what's the time now? Sorry, 12:40. We've got, okay, so we'll have about 15 minutes for this task. But what we'll do then is we'll just shift the papers round so that then if, for example, we're working on the first question, you'll add to, obviously you'll have a bit less to add because the first group is going to do most of the work. If you like an idea, please put a tick next to it, okay? And then we're going to keep on going until that will only take a few minutes, until the last paper comes back, the original paper comes back to the original group. And then we'd like that group to come up with a summative statement, and that is what we will present to the conference organizers. Okay, education of the next step. What we are going to do now, hopefully, will influence Beaconhouse policy. Mrs. Hark, probably she's going to miss lunch, and she's going to be with a group of people who are going to work on the feedback that we are giving from the discussion groups to help develop a presentation called The Way Forward, which will be presented at the end of the conference. So what we are going to give Mrs. Hark are those small pieces of paper, the A4 papers that we've given you. So if you can, write the question at the top and try to look at what you have on that big paper and try to come up with something coherent, even if it's a paragraph or two, but something that could set direction. And this is your work. As you can understand, we had very little input into it. If we can finalize this exercise in the next minute or two, we'll just have time to read it out to the others. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. What I'd like to do now is, okay, if it's possible, can we just read out that statement to the rest of the group? And remember, whatever we are going to present is not just the work of one group, but the work of all groups. So can we start from question number one, the first group? Thank you. I'm going to pass on.
Hello everyone, I'm Asafa Tareen.
Can we please listen to the...
And the question given to us is, what have good schools in our system got in common? The good schools in our system are student-centered, catering to the different areas of learning outcomes. The most common factors in good schools of the system are that they are having confident students who learn through project-based learning, co-curricular activities and sports. Students have freedom to express and enjoy good rapport with the teachers. The teachers in these schools are empathic and approachable. The staff is well-groomed and trained. And then in the end, these schools provide good infrastructure, ambience, and effective leadership is there to support the teachers and the students. Thank you.
We're going on to group two. It's going to read their statement.
All right, the question given was, what should be reviewed in a school? Okay, the question given to my group was, what should be reviewed in a school and when? The summary statement includes that reviews should be focused on A, learning outcomes, B, ambience of the school, which would include ethos, physical environment, displays, and relationships. And third would be school activities, which would include co-curricular and extracurricular. And then we have implementation of policies and practices. And lastly, record keeping and evidences. And when it should be done, internal evaluation can be twice a year, and external can be after every 3 years. Thank you.
So we're just going to skip one group for a moment.
Okay, so our question was, what are some of the barriers to effective self-review and what are the solutions? So some of the barriers that we have figured out are that it's the awareness and understanding of the analysis and evaluation procedure. So that for that we should have the right set of skills. Then there's the time constraint, then human resource, then the other is mindsets that we have and realistic objectives. The solutions that we have figured out are that there should be need-based training programs for those. Freedom of expression should be there. There should be a clarity of purpose, and we have to develop a non-threatening culture for sheer freedom of expression. So that's.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Question 4.
Our question was, what conditions are necessary to have open sharing and critique of our work? Supportive leadership, congenial and welcoming environment, and the confidence to take risks and challenges will help in creating a conducive learning environment where open sharing and critique of work is welcome and is kept in confidence. There should be no fear of repercussions if some confidences are shared, and develop a culture for freedom of expression.
I think that is really important as well. Since we were just talking in the other group, if we have a culture where people for all their lives have not been encouraged to share and openly, and we just expect it to happen immediately, it might not be realistic, but if we work towards it, that would be good. Thank you.
Okay, and finally, thanks to everyone's input, can I read it off? It's your handwriting. Should schools be evaluated externally, or is self-review credible enough? Self-review, one of a number of points, not written as prose, but self-review is an ongoing process. External evaluation should take place informally and needs to be supportive. Sensitivity should be different for all types of schools and different levels and locations. And finally, there should be a follow-up.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I think it is actually time to go and have some lunch. And before we go, I have to say thank you very much. Those comments are going to help build a complete picture that Mrs. Harp will be presenting this afternoon. So once again, thanks for your input. And